Do you have cabin fever yet? You might. Let's hear about it.
Let's do this.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Video Call-In Show. That show that invites you to be a live video guest on this program to talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. Now, joining is real easy. All you've got to do is point your browser to zoom.us, click on Join a Meeting, and when it asks for it, enter in that meeting number, and you will come up in my green room. I'll bring you up one at a time, first come, first serve. As for me, my name is Jim. I am your host for the Video Call-In Show. This is a strange Wednesday night for me. Well, it is now anyway, because I've limited myself to Sundays only. But you know, I just couldn't stay away. Honestly, it's so much fun to sit here and talk to you folks and to have you up here and get your take on things. I don't know if one night a week's going to do it for me. But hey, listen, we're scheduled for Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, but I am going to pop up from time to time. And you should know that I'm missing a very important auction tonight. The reason I'm missing that auction is because I don't think people are going to be able to pick things up. Monday signified a landmark in the Hoosier state. And I know some of you are already familiar with this because your states have done something similar. In that, we are on lockdown for at least 2 weeks. Only necessary or essential travel is permitted now. They haven't talked about fines just yet, as far as I know, but that is always... I know that's the case in some states. I don't know if it's the case in our state. But what I do know is that you're not supposed to be traveling. And I think we can all agree picking up items from an auction is not necessarily an essential movement or essential trip. So I've decided to opt out of tonight's auction, even though they had some solar panels going up. It was a solar kit, actually. And yeah, I know, right? Wendell, thank you. Wendell says I'm saving money. Wendell, you're absolutely right. I am saving money. But you know, you only live once. You can't take it with you. And I really wanted that solar panel kit. It's 300 watts. It's got a charge controller with it. I just really wanted that. Well, before I get too much further into all this, like I said, I want to see how you guys are dealing with your lockdowns. I know many other states have decided to do the same thing, and that is restrict unnecessary travel. I know that doesn't hold true for those businesses that are deemed essential, but it does for so many others. And here we are. And I think I told you Sunday night, I'm okay with that from my end. This actually works out very well for the injured because now I have a chance to heal. And even though I knocked down my crutch Sunday night, I was going to show you. When I'm in the boot, I am down to one crutch. That means I'm hobbling around with one crutch, one arm open. It is a banner week. That's all I've got to say about that one. Before I bring up my first guest and find out how they're dealing with cabin fever, if at all, I do want to say hello to those folks who have been kind enough to grace us with their presence. We've got Lord Kitchener from, I believe, DLIVE. Yes. How are you doing, Lord Kitchener? I hope you're still here. Welcome back to the show. Digging with Deej, how are you? Good to see you again. I haven't seen you in a while, I don't believe. Spike's Prospecting Equipment. Yes. How are you? Not a great gamer. Dude, I don't speak French, but thanks for that. I'll throw it into Google Translate just to see if it was a compliment. I'm going to assume it was a compliment. Aren't you guys? We've got Germany Travel Personal Guide. How are you, Darian? Good to see you as well. Where is Danny Black? What's up, Danny? Good to see you, man. Guys, if you don't know Danny Black, it's Where is Danny Black is the channel that he's logged into here. go visit his channel, man. What he's been doing since, you know, most of us are when we're not working, we're bored. We're hanging around. I'm going to tell you what I've been doing with my time. But Danny has been, I don't know how often you come on, Danny, but you're actually coming on and singing, playing guitar, and I gotta tell you, I'm impressed with Danny's vocal abilities and his guitar work, really. So go check him out if you get a chance. Hello, Susan Hamilton, how are you? And we got Mr. Lodak. Jaron, how are you? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Part of the Flash fam, of course. We've got Jesse Mendez, another Flash fam. How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. We've also got Wendell Live. You heard me say that earlier. Wendell, how you doing, buddy? Catherine Cook. Catherine Cook was on for the first time Sunday night. It's so good to see you again. Says she's working on a few projects with some family. Drone Kings and Darwin. Brad, good morning to you, my friend down under. One of many, I must say, which is fantastic. We've also got Living Training with Doug Betts. Doug, how you doing? That's a new handle. I'm gonna have to make you a mod because I know who you are, Doug. I know who you are. New Orleans girl, howdy to you. Thanks for being here. We've also got Rent to Grown. How you doing, Claire? Always a pleasure. She is actually in the Spike. You didn't have to jump off, man. I will take people as they line up in the green room one at a time. First come, first serve. You were first at first, but sometimes you got to wait, guys. Sometimes you got to wait. I have to talk to some folks as we go. Oh, there we go. Danny Black. He's actually logged in as 2. So now he counts as 2 viewers for me. Score. Thanks, Danny. I appreciate that, man. I'm serious, Danny. I was really impressed, dude. Not that I didn't expect to be impressed, but because that's what you do for a living. But I had no idea. You can literally talk to someone and not have any idea how they sound vocally, and I was very pleasantly surprised, man. Very pleasantly surprised. So you deserved it. Oh, so that's a music channel. How many channels you have, Danny? We've also got Jelly Duck 100. How you doing, Ahmed? Good to see you, my friend. Always good to see you. Always good to see you. I wanted to watch. Lost me. That's okay, Spikes. That's okay. That's all right, man. All right, so I was going to tell you what I've been doing, and I wasn't going to reveal this, but as you know, one of the best ways to grow is to do collaborations with personalities that have a following. I've been going after them. Now, at this run, I'm 0 for 2, but you've got to deal with rejection. I understand. I'm a small channel. Maybe they're watching right now. Who knows? But I'm a small channel, just trying to have some fun and love to talk to new and interesting people. I love to talk to all you folks too, as you well know, because many of you have been on several times, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Yes, Claire, I will. It won't be long. It won't be long. I'm just going to finish this little spiel here, and then I'll bring you up, hon. All right. So that's what I've been doing with my time when I'm not working. Literally putting out letters and connecting with folks, both in comments and things like that. And I recommend it. Yes, you have to put up with some rejection, but if you want to do some collaborations with folks, you've got to throw your line out. Otherwise, you catch no fish. I mean, that's a mantra that has stood the test of time, and it is all too appropriate now, right? Especially in this world that we live in. But I thought if I'm going to come on less often, I'm just going to start hitting some folks and see how they're doing. So, having said that, let's bring up our first guest, shall we? I'm just going to admit you, Claire, and take your time. You let me know when you're ready and you can hear me and all that kind of stuff. Of course, got to hide this ugly mug here. But we'll have her up in just a moment. So Drone King says Danny has 2 channels, but every 100 days they change names. Yeah, well, Danny, I get it. And yeah, that's not unusual. I will say this though, make sure if you and you know, this is not a great example because Danny's got a great following, but for me, I'm a brand nut, so I really want to, when I start something out, it took me forever to put this together. You don't have to stop your camera, Claire. I can see you.
I didn't mean.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to try something new this time because now instead of, because we all, I don't know if you guys have heard, but YouTube is throttling the bandwidth. That's why a lot of the videos you jump in on, you'll see them as less than HD in many cases. They're doing that because they're getting hammered, and I get it. But what I'm going to do is when I get a guest on now, I'm going to record locally every time somebody comes on, and if it turns out that it's a guest cut later on, then I'll have it locally, and I won't have to download perhaps what would be a lower resolution dealio. So know that going in. All right. You know what? I didn't know you were a smoker.
Everybody has bad habits, right?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I include myself in that as well. Hang on just a minute there. All right. Yes, Zoom. I thought I was all prepared, and yet here I sit.
All good.
There we are. All right. So, Claire, how are you this evening?
I am better than I look.
You don't look bad. You just look comfortable, is what I would say. Don't make me take off this hat.
So, I'm doing okay.
Good.
So, you know, I have a lot of feelings about a lot of things, but
oh, lay the feelings on us, Claire. Lay the feelings on us. What I guess they're feelings of anger or disgust, or, you know, are they bad feelings or the good feelings? I should start out with that.
I'm vacillating between frustration and hope.
She said vacillating, but no time to laugh about that now. So please tell us what subjects have you vacillating?
I recently started a business in January, and I'm only 25, so my 401k had like maybe $3,000 in it. And then I inherited a few $1,000s when my granddad passed away a year ago, and what was left of that, I sunk into my business. So I literally have whatever changes in my wallet right now. I have no bills in my wallet. I have like maybe 48 cents.
Oh, man. Wow.
So luckily or unluckily, I started a commercial cleaning business, which is an essential service.
Mm-hmm.
And shockingly, I have Lysol and bleach and toilet paper and all these things that people supposedly want, and you would think that they would need for their businesses. And nobody wants me. Nobody wants to hire me.
Oh,
and,
man.
Right now, I am putting advertising on a credit card because I don't need any more. I don't need any more supplies. I have a lot of good equipment and all of that. I've already printed up all of my contracts and everything. Like, I'm ready to go, ready to go, ready right now. If anybody will hire me, and nobody has. So I'm, commercials, airtime is not super cheap. It's not super expensive.
It can be, it can be very reasonable, especially on the cable channels.
So that's what I'm doing, is local access.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I've spent $700 just on advertising.
Yeah.
And I've only been open for 3 months.
May I ask, Claire, where those dollars were distributed? What venues are you advertising on, aside from perhaps cable channels?
Just local access right now. I'm boosting some Facebook posts. That's not reaping a lot of reward.
It hardly ever does.
out there, so it's, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm collaborating with a couple of other local businesses where I've gone and I've cleaned for free, and they're willing to vouch for me
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. But everybody's so scared right now, and they don't want to spend the money to have their place cleaned. They would rather just do it themselves, and I get that.
Sure.
I get it.
Sure.
But I do.
But there's got to be businesses. Think of the essential businesses where they don't have time to clean. You know what I mean? I'm thinking even this is off the cuff here, but auto parts stores. The auto parts stores have been deemed essential businesses.
Yeah.
Well, those guys are hoofing, or some of them are just sitting around. But there are a lot of those type of businesses that have no time to clean, or no desire, much less. It may be a door-to-door sort of thing. And I also wonder if you didn't throw a few small dollars, and I'm not talking $700 a month. I'm just talking a few dollars in like AdWords. It's not called AdWords anymore. It's Google Ads.
Right.
But you could literally do that.
I'm taking some classes right now at the local community college. They're actually suspended right now because virus.
Nice.
I've been taking some Google business classes that they offer for free, and they have a Google representative come out and teach you how to do all of the things. And I already know most of it, but I want to make sure I'm not missing anything and just assuming that I know everything when I have the ability to learn from an expert for free.
Yeah.
So I am doing that. I have not put money into it yet. I'm waiting. There's a whole issue with my domain right now. So I've got to wait 60 days to change my website. And whenever I do that, and I have my web presence pretty solid, then I am going to throw some money at it, probably around $50 a month, not a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm competing with a pretty substantial corporate network that has their claws into my area, and I cannot spend what they can spend, and I know that.
Sure.
I'm not going to try to outspend them.
Yeah.
But the local access stuff, I have gotten a lot of phone calls about it, and I've gone on several quotes, and I've measured for people, and I've given them quotes, but all of them keep saying, I can't hire you until business picks back up.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm doing what I can.
Yeah.
But I'm still hopeful. And the reason that I'm hopeful is, I do the homestead thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So in order to do that, I do a lot of research because I'm also kind of a nerd, but I'm a nerd for things like, okay, well, how did we do that before we had a refrigerator? And how did we do this before we had that?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know how these things work. So I actually have watched a lot of documentaries, and I've done a lot of research on one particular era that I'm really fascinated with is the 30s and 40s in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
That's really important because when they were going through World War II, we had the rationing and stuff here, but it affected them a lot more so because more than a third of their food was imported. And so not only could they not get goods in because of the war, and they were a freaking island, but also all of their merchant vessels went to join the merchant marines.
Mm-hmm.
And so they weren't able to get stuff in because of that as well. And so, they really had to buckle down and produce what they needed. And with the rationing and with everybody working, and I feel like it was just as scary of a time, if not much more so, than we're going through right now. And at the end of it, Winston Churchill and a lot of other folks went on to say that it was the healthiest they ever were as a nation. And what I'm seeing, because I live right next door to a park,
mm-hmm.
what I'm seeing right now is there are so many people that are going out for a run right now, like so many. And, people are just going around for a walk around the neighborhood, and they're actually like looking at the food that they have in their houses, and they're not just going out to eat all the time. And so I'm wondering if this isn't, I don't want to call it a blessing in disguise because it still freaking sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But there is some surprising good that comes out of it, and that's what leaves me hopeful.
Yes, yes. The surprising good that I forecasted Sunday that we might see from this is that a lot more employers will be hip to the remote working environment,
Yeah.
and we will literally save a ton of fossil fuels in doing so. I don't consider myself a tree hugger, but I am an outdoorsman, so I am very cognizant of the condition of the great outdoors, right? The planet as a whole.
Yeah.
But I can't see that as being a bad thing at all.
Nope.
And it's a little bit different than what we're talking about here, but yeah. So there are going to be some good things that come out of this, I hope, and no bad things,
Yeah.
as long as we're diligent.
And the last thing, since you mentioned that, I'll mention one more thing before I hop off.
Sure.
I really want to be a good employer, and I've written up how I'm going to pay my employees and the types of benefits that they're going to have, and I'm not going to have any full-time employees for at least the next 3 years. So these are part-time employees. I've already written up the contracts for employment. They're only going to make $8 an hour, but they're going to get a per job stipends.
Mm. And
that way they're not, if they dick around on the clock, I'm only losing $8.
Yes.
And then per job, they get a bonus $50 or $100, depending on the square footage of the facility that they're cleaning. And then they will get 12 weeks of paid maternity leave.
Mm-hmm.
And that will extend if they adopt a child or if they take a child into foster care. They will get paid sick leave.
Mm.
They will get vacation time. They may or may not get holiday pay, depending on if we have to clean the office anyway, but they'll get their stipends bonus.
Sure.
Like their stipend will be doubled.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm aware that that is not the thing that people do, especially for part-time employees.
That's true.
But I want to do all of the things that nobody else is willing to do, especially the things that they say can't be done.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not going to be making a crap ton of money out of this, because what I am going to be doing is investing in my employees. And I'm going to have all of these rainy day funds where if we have something like this come around, I'm going to take like however much out of my payroll and put toward that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to put back an amount of money so that I can cover these people to be on maternity or paternity leave or elder care leave. And I'm wanting to do all of these things. And yeah, they're only going to be working maybe 20 hours a week, but I'm willing to go through like a 90-day look back period and see what they would have made and compensate them for that, because I want to be the type of employer that when people aren't working for me, they say, why can't my job be like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I love it. I think it's a great idea. It'll take some fancy math. I happen to be a proponent. What's that?
I said I've already talked to my accountant and she's so mad at me, but
yeah, bean counters, they're always going to be throwing the wet blanket on everything. But I tell you, what I've always found is most helpful with employees is paying for performance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's such an incentive to do so. It's like having a sales job working on commission, but you're not a salesman, right? So if you get paid, you do a great job, I am absolutely going to reward you. And that's another way of looking at what you're talking about. So
yeah, I can't wait to be able to employ people. I can't wait. I'm planning on doing the grunt work for at least the first year so I can save up to be able to, initiate these programs out the gate.
Oh, sure.
But, I'm fine with not making, $100,000 a year and having a bunch of employees under me and doing all the work and me reaping the reward. I don't want to be like that. So
you say that now, and I'm going to give you a little bit of benefit of my experience, Claire. It's you almost have to want that brass ring in order to go for it. So allow yourself to say, yes, I want to reap the benefits of my efforts. And when I say that, I want to get to a point, because I've said this my entire life, I want to get to a point where I can work from above, work smart, not hard, and have the people, that want to work hard.
Right.
I'll make sure that they're taken care of, you see. But I
Right.
want to be as comfortable as I possibly can, because, in the end, we're all selfish to some degree. And what's most important is taking care of ourselves first, family second, other people third. I mean, it's been that way since the dawn of time, and it's always going to be that way from my perspective. And I may be wrong, but never ever tell yourself that you don't deserve to make you don't deserve to, well, I'm just say be rich, because that's what stops a lot of people. It's like, I don't want to be rich, I just want to take care of people. Well, that's not true. You want to be comfortable, and rich is, of course, comfort, because it pays for what you may need. Is that making sense at all? I know I'm kind of dancing around this a bit, but it's kind of a touchy subject, because a lot of people don't understand. I'm not talking about being a ruthless, rich asshole like the Bloombergs of the world, where you tell your campaign staffers that they've got a job for a year, and then you say, sorry, shit didn't work, so you got 2 weeks. That's why he's got a lawsuit right now. I mean, he's the worst kind of person with money. All you want to be is a person with money that's good. Keep those good intentions that you've been talking about. But always go for the brass ring. I'm telling you.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to pay myself more than like 50 grand a year. And if I make more than that, it's because I don't know what else to do with the money.
Well, that's fine too. Think of the guy who started Costco. He runs one of the cleanest businesses around. Takes care of his employees, and he doesn't rape the company of its profits and capital. He takes a modest salary, and he's one of the good ones. There are a lot of those out there. We just never hear about them. We always hear about the barons. But you say 50 now, and it'll go up, and stay modest. There's nothing wrong with that. But also, when you get to a point where you can reap the rewards of all your hard work, then reap the rewards without killing what it is that you've built. That's all I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm talking from, I'm over twice your age. Can't believe I had to actually realize that, but I'm just trying to give you the benefit of my experience.
I appreciate it.
But I love what you're trying to do.
I want to make sure that everybody else eats too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And you can do that until you're too old to run the business.
Yeah.
Well, I hope this doesn't last long for you and folks that have done exactly the same thing you have, honestly.
Yeah. Same.
So fingers crossed. Look, everyone in the chat, let's get fingers crossed here. A community fingers crossed, because we're all hoping for that for different reasons. But I know there are a lot of people in your shoes, and it sucks. But if you can weather this storm, I think, given your drive, you'll be fine.
I'm hoping so. We'll see what happens.
Well, listen, like I said, you got me. I'm pulling for you, hon. If that means anything at all.
I appreciate it. Well, I'll be in the chat for a little while. But go on and talk to your next person. It was good to see you, man.
Oh, it's good to see you too, Claire. Good luck and take care. Don't ever be a stranger.
All right. Thanks.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, I have to be on this one. There we go. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's timing is everything. Have I ever told you guys a story about auto search? Oh man, before I bring up my next guest, if you haven't heard this story, go get you some tissue. Find a nice dark corner to crawl up in. But back in 1992, I had an idea for a business. I won't tell you what that's called, but the idea was that you're gonna get this right off. The idea was I would collect information from all of the used car, even from dealerships, all of the used vehicle information from everyone. Put it into a database, and then allow customers to come in, choose what kind of vehicle they wanted, you know, what options, what colors, what interiors, what engines. And then my database would spit back a list of cars and the locations that they reside in. 1992. Is anyone keeping track? The name of that business was Auto Search, not Cars.com, not Auto Trader, not TrueCar. Auto Search. Fuck. Ran out of money. I literally ran out of money. But I was advertising on local access. I think I spent $700. It's funny she said $700. I spent $700 advertising local cable stations for several times. I got several clients, and you know, the problem was it was too early for the dealerships. They didn't know who the hell I was and what I was doing. I mean, I literally sent letters to every one of them. I think I have actually talked about this before, but oh man, I want to have very few regrets when I leave this planet, and I can tell you that is going to be one of the big ones. But I never stopped trying. I've created and ran at least 5 businesses since then. Some very successfully. Others, you know, they were garbage. Who was it that said every entrepreneur is just one more deal away from success? You've got to look at it that way, and you've got to keep going. Let's do this because I fell down on it. But let's have a chat check real fast. Who else do we have? That was supposed to come with music. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. We've since my first guest came in, we've got Outdoorsy Gallo. How you doing, Chrissy? Good to see you. Patty Broussard, well, welcome, honey. Good to see you as well. Who else have I missed here? New Orleans girl, welcome back to the show. Good to see you as always. Jimmy C and friends, howdy to you, my friend. Have I missed it? Shauna Marie Penny, how are you? Have I missed anyone? I hate missing folks. Okay. Enough of my pain and suffering. we don't want to go down that road again, do we? No, heavens no. Let's this is going to be a short show tonight, maybe an hour. I mean, right now we're at half an hour, so we'll see. I'm going to bring on my next guest and get their take on cabin fever. Is he even experiencing it? So while we're waiting on my next guest, Claire follows up. I'm struggling because I can't get business loans. Oh, I know, Claire. Having to pay cash and put on a high interest credit card for everything right now. Yeah, that's tough. And be careful with that. I meant to tell you, be careful about that. Hello, Ghana. Because debt is a horrible thing to find yourself in. Especially when it follows you around. If you're going to go in debt, do everything you can. Once the ball starts rolling, do everything you can, Claire, to eliminate whatever debt you've had to acquire to get the business going. Then move forward with profit and employees and all that. Make sure you hold back enough for taxes. That is very, very important. When I typically hold back 30% of any contract fees that I acquire for taxes, and it's usually not that much. It's actually usually much less because the deductions of running a business can be very nice, but 30% back is a great rule in case something is wrong, and then you'll be okay later. There he is. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm going to hit a couple buttons over here.
That's fine.
I know I walked out of frame, but I'm with you.
That's quite all right. That is quite all right.
And I know I'm not watering plants.
No fridges to fix today?
Huh?
No refrigerators to fix?
No. I'm still having to defrost that once a week.
Well, it's good to see you again, Doug. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Jim.
Good. How are you weathering this storm? I'm going to call it a storm. I'm not going to call it a crisis anymore. How are you weathering this storm, Doug?
Well, very, very easily.
Awesome.
Very natural for me. And when my first alert of concern was when I heard on a Friday that the schools were going to be closed on Monday.
Yeah.
Well, I had already been preparing some of my clients for working remotely. And I thought that Monday was going to be really busy because I thought a lot of my clients were going to have staff who were stuck at home with their school kids.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. It wasn't really a big deal. I'm a computer consultant for
now. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's actually been pretty, very controllable. Has not gone crazy. As a matter of fact, I've been able to devote a little more time. Do I have something?
I don't know. I am hearing a check 1 2. Watching from the other room.
No, that wasn't it. Oh, I see. I had turned off the sound on the YouTube channel and somehow it reactivated itself.
Ah, yes.
Okay, so I just switched over to that screen and I'll maximize this screen. So maybe I accidentally hit it. I don't know.
Fantastic.
All right.
Well, I'm glad.
Well,
actually, what?
I've been making some progress on my YouTube channel. And
oh.
That's why the name is I'm talking to you now from my lab / studio / office, and the name of the channel is the Live Windows Training.
Okay. Yeah. Type in the. Oh, I see it. Yep. Live Windows Training with Doug Betts. Yep. When you get a chance, Doug, type into the chat so people can visit your channel if they are indeed in need of Windows training. That can only help.
Sure, I did that. Okay, so I'll just give another hi there to make my name.
Perfect. Well, it's good to hear that the things are well, you know, the the storm has not been much of an effect on you. That's always good news. I know there are many. Oh. As I wave to myself. Oh God, I'm pathetic. I like hearing those stories. I feel for, you know, when folks have problems, but it really is it is heartening to hear from folks that are not you know, struggling as much as the perception is that everyone's struggling. So good for you, Doug.
Hey, if it's okay, I'd like to chime in on Claire's.
Oh, which one? Oh, you mean her entire?
Yeah, the business that she just talked about doing. And I wanted to chime in kind of in this similar vein as what you were describing. Something that helped me a lot in putting my business together is when I realized, it's kind of like the analogy of on an airplane. If you've got a small child with you, they tell you to, if the seatbelt sign goes on, if the air masks come down, put your air mask on first, and then take care of your kid. And I find it's the same thing in business. You got to be sure there's ample money coming in to your pockets so that you can then help your employees. If your desire is to really be a good employer, you've got to have money coming in at a really healthy clip to be able to do that. And I've been really impressed with some of my clients that I know they're bringing in a lot of money into their own pockets, but then they are helping their employees further their education and giving them full pay while they're at home, even if they're not able to work. If you really want to be a good employer, you've got to have a good pot of money coming in, and find a way to structure your business to do that. If you hire people and you're on a very thin margin, things go wrong in business. You come across things where you've got a heavy expense and then you struggle to make payroll, and that's going to be hurtful.
Yeah.
Employees. I would just, Claire, I'd like to encourage you, find a way to structure a good, healthy amount of money coming in, and then what you do with that in supporting your employees, you have the freedom to do that too.
Yes, absolutely. That's great advice, Doug, and I couldn't have put it better myself.
Yeah, best wishes to you, Claire.
I love that at 25, she's, an entrepreneur. She's got that mindset. Yep.
That's awesome. And I'll tell you what, I've had a few adventures before what I'm currently in, and I have failed before.
Oh,
And
yes.
if you fail, take it as a learning lesson. If you succeed right out of the gate, man, that's great, and go forward expecting and planning that.
Yes. And while we're on the subject, Doug, I really want to say this as well. One of the most important lessons I learned early on in starting businesses is that you've got to keep the funnel full. All too often, what people do is that they'll find a few big clients and become all comfy. And what happens is that they go away, right? And then you're left holding the bag because you didn't think about filling the funnel. In other words, you didn't think about continually selling your business to new clients. And you've got to do that, or you're setting yourself up for fail. White whales are great. They are fantastic, but don't depend on them.
I've had situations when I have a whale of a client, and I start to realize what happens if that goes away. And I've had that happen on a few occasions through no fault of my own and no fault of their own. Something happens, a company gets bought out, or somebody higher up decides to take care of needs in a different way, and you can lose client. And so finding a way to bring in some other smaller clients while you're servicing the big one is a smart idea.
It sure is. It sure is. I can't tell you how many folks that I've talked to in that position who found themselves with a whale and ended up collapsing when the whale didn't stop producing. It happens. It happens. So always keep the funnel full. What do they say? Always be closing. ABC. That's not just a real estate thing. Always be closing those deals is what they mean. So
the people in my world with relatives and clients and such, I'm seeing just a very, very much easier than expected adoption of working at home and social distancing and what we call it, something in place. People secluding themselves.
Oh, self-isolation?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm finding really well, and I feel really good about my state, my city, taking smart measures.
Good.
Yeah,
That's.
I'm seeing a lot. I'm locking up.
Are you? You look fine over here.
Yeah, I saw myself freeze.
Oh. No, it all looks good over here, Doug. Not a problem, man. Not a problem. Doug's talking about the I think he's talking about the remote life, and we'll talk about that between guests. Only because I love that hashtag, remote life. For those of us who have found a home, working at home, it's kind of a group. Doug,
Did you say remote life?
No, remote life.
Remote life. Oh
Yes.
yes.
You didn't watch the show Sunday, so I'm just going to superimpose it right on top of us. There you go. The remote life. Hashtag remote life. Shirts available in my Teespring.
I think I saw the show afterwards. When you put those shirts up, I recognize them.
I'm just a shill, Doug. I'm a proud shill. Well, Doug, I'm going to move on to my next guest, but what sort of parting information can you give the folks who might be struggling or looking, looking for the light at the end of this tunnel? Anything?
Well, when you first started that question, I was thinking no, but that's not true. I would say try to think creatively, try to think outside of the box, try to think some way in this situation you can make use of. Let's suppose you have more time on your hands now, find some way to make that productive time. Don't just go idle. Think about maybe different directions that you could explore. I think when we come out of this, the world may be a very different place, depending on how far this goes. And start thinking about what are the turns you could make to actually benefit out of this. I've had many different turns in my life, and many times when something seemingly bad has happened, that I've wound up finding some good in it, some benefit. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, you've always got to look for the silver lining. I said very much the same thing Sunday night. In that, where I think this is going to go, Doug, real fast, because I don't want to start an entire discussion on this. Is that we're already seeing this as a boost to the in technology. People are having to use it. Before it was kind of like, okay, it's there, it's fun to use, it's kind of novelty. Now it's becoming almost a necessity. I don't know how many news programs I've watched who are doing remote interviews and things like that, much more than they used to. And if it changes at all, I think technology is going to be used more than anything else, or more than it has in the past, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens as we go forward.
Me too. Well, Doug, thanks again so much for coming on, man. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm so glad you didn't have any plants to water or refrigerators to fix. Maybe next time.
All right, and hi, everybody in chat.
All right, thanks again, Doug. All right, folks. So if you think that you could use some Windows training, head on over to Doug's channel. I haven't, Doug, I must admit, I am ashamed to admit that I haven't looked to see your new channel just yet, but I'm going to, absolutely going to. Before I bring up my next guest, and I've got two more is probably going to be the end of it for me tonight, given that, given that I've been on my feet all day long, my foot all day long, and it's pretty sore. But I do want to say hello to a few people before I get into that. David, the producer, how you doing, bud? Good to see you. Have I missed anyone else? Jimmy C and friends, did I say hello to you, man? Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. All kinds of great. I'm looking at all kinds of great advice for Claire, and for those of you who are in the midst of starting a business or thinking about starting a business, then by all means read some of this, because it looks like some really good information. Diana, Brianna Fairchild, how are you? Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Thumbs up. Thank you so much. By the way, guys, if you want to share this, please feel free to do so. If you care to thumbs up or thumbs down, please feel free to do so. If you're watching this on some of the other channels and you haven't yet chatted, I'm hoping my restream chat is up to par here. Then by all means, throw me a follow. And if you haven't already on YouTube, throw a subscribe. It don't cost nothing, and you'll be able to see this. I'm on every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern and at random times. This is one of those random times. All right, let's dispense with that tomfoolery of mine and call up our next guest here. All I should have to do, because I know you've been on before. Oh, where is your name, man? Oh, maybe it's. I may have to type it in, dude. I might have to type it in. Can you hear me? Not yet. That's okay. Check the lower left of your Zoom interface and make sure that you've got your microphone and your speakers.
I'm there.
Ah, good. I can hear myself though. You might want to mute that YouTube video.
Got it. How's that?
That is wonderful. All right, Okay. So, how are you this evening, my friend?
I'm better than I have been, that's for sure.
Well, that's good news. That's good news. Are you dealing with this storm? I'm gonna stay with the storm analogy here, moniker.
You can call it that if you want to, yeah. You know, I've been on quarantine pretty much since January 20th.
Oh man.
That's when the shop caught on fire.
Oh, holy cow.
I don't know if you didn't hear about it, I guess. But my shop caught on fire and smoked up the house. I lost pretty much all my tools, the CNC.
Oh man.
Oven, you know, everything in the shop's gone. All my bandsaws and everything like that. So, you know, they just got it all. Insurance is covering it. You know, I got spent one night in the hospital for being stupid and trying to put out a fire in a pair of flip-flops and tennis shoes, and a pair of flip-flops and sweatpants. Not very smart idea, but yeah.
No.
We're okay. But yeah, we're dealing with it. I mean, you know, me and the wife's both in our 60s. She's a little more immune, you know, than I am. You know, has problems than I do. So we're keeping her away from people. We don't go out much. Right now, we're living in the RV in our front yard. I've been in it 6 weeks, I guess. We lived with the boy in his house for about 2 weeks, and then we've been here about 6 weeks.
Wow.
The house is probably another 3 weeks away from being done, maybe 4. And we just got the temporary fire pole hooked up and a dump tank for the RV and hose to the house. And cold nights we turn the hose off. And other than that, we've been getting by. So, you know, it's not bad. I mean, you know, you got to persevere and get through something. I didn't lose my machine that I make my plastics with. I didn't lose any of my molds.
Well, that's good.
So, you know, I got to look at the positives on things, you know, so I'm still in business. You know, I was slowed down for a little while, but I'm back wide open now. So, and it's kind of good because everybody's stuck at home, and I sell concentrators to get the gold out of your dirt. So, you know, it kind of fits, you know, guy's at home and he's got to get his dirt out. I got something he can do it with. The woman sales have been great for the last week. I'm hoping to get better. I mean, you know, I don't want the storm to continue, but I don't mind the sales. I mean, you know, if somebody can do something wholesome and have some fun and keep them out of trouble. So,
oh yeah.
To be honest, I'm gonna go to the creek this weekend. It's gonna be pretty. I'm just gonna go to the creek, tell people stay away from me, don't come around me. You know, go over there. You know,
this is my claim.
My section. You know, go 2 shovel lengths away before I have to whop you with one. And you know, I got some testing to do.
If I can hit you with a shovel, you are too damn close.
Yeah, exactly. You had that surgery on your foot, and I'm waiting right now on getting clearance to get surgery on my L4, L5 to have the disc taken out and a couple of screws put in.
Yeah, they're gonna fuse it.
Yep. And I'm at the point of waiting right now for, well, who's going to be in the hospital when, where. So I'm on the waiting list. I may find out tomorrow. I mean, I went to the doctor yesterday, and he said, we got to get that out. And I said, if you can, I'll take it. He said, when do you want to do it? I said, did we doing it yesterday? You know, he said, yep, okay. So they trying to get it run through. If it gets through and I get it, our storm's not too bad around here right now. We hadn't had anybody in our county at all. So, you know, that's a good thing.
That is good.
And everybody's being pretty smart. That's the thing I noticed. You know, the older folks, they give us that hour in the morning to go to the Dollar General before everybody else goes. And, you know, a lot of takeout food, you know, getting used to takeout food a lot because that's all there is. But, you know,
oh, yeah.
And when you live out in the country, kind of like I do, I got an acre out in the country, and, you know, it's not like there's anything real close to go get food. I mean, it's 7 or 8 miles to the drive-through restaurants like the Arby's, Wendy's, and stuff like that. You know, which maybe I'm a long ways for some people, but it is for me.
Yeah.
You know, we're living with it. You know, we're getting good. So how's your foot?
Well, my foot's doing okay. Like you, I've been in isolation for about the last 3 months because this happened on the 4th, and I literally haven't been doing much since. Now, I did work on location 2 weeks ago, all week long. But beyond that, you know, it's been a recliner or a chair or something to keep my foot up. Again, I'm on one crutch now, which, you know, that's huge.
That's good.
Yeah, it's just on the boot.
I can walk. I'm getting around. I have all my bodily functions okay, so I'm good. You know, the back needs fixing, but I can live with it if I have to.
Mm-hmm.
If it's got better needs, then we have to let that happen. So, you know, I've lived with it bad for a while. The fire happened. I went to see the doctor 4 days after the fire. He said, we need to cut that out. And I said, I got a problem. I told him about the house. He said, yeah, you got a problem. So,
Man.
we'll work through it. I mean, you know, it's going to all be okay. 3-4 more weeks, I got to redo the hardwoods, put in the vinyls, put, you know, new light fixtures and fans and ceiling fans and all in. The vinyl got put in today. The garage is all re-sheet rock. All the electrical's done.
Cool.
Got permanent power, you know, so electrician's coming, duct cleaner's coming tomorrow. Electrician's coming Friday, put all the breakers in so I can get the heat and everything on.
Mm-hmm.
And the floor guy can come a week after that and start on the hardwoods, redoing them. So, you know, it just takes time. I mean, the worst thing is that company, S Master,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's, you know, got the thing on their truck, you know, that they're going to, you know, take care of your stuff.
Think so.
Folks, I'm telling you, if you ever have a situation with a loss with a company, I don't care who it is, you get you a pad, a pencil, and you get your camera. And when they start taking things out, you start taking pictures of everything that comes out and writing a note. Because this company come back to me with 6 pages of contents out of my big old huge shop garage.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, ma'am, are you sure that's all of them? And she said, yep, that's everything. And I said, well, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So she handed it to me, and I brought it in, and I had my own list that I started working with. And when I gave her back 16 pages, and then I told her, I said, you know, there's one set of things missing that I can't find. And she said, what's that? And I said, you. And she's the office manager at this S Master company. I said, you, on a yellow pad of paper with a pink pen, wrote down all the contents of that black cabinet that was sitting in front of that window. And she looked at me kind of odd. And I said, and none of that's on the list.
Mm.
And so where would that list go, and where would all that stuff be, because it's not on the list? Not to mention, you ready for this? They didn't list my mattresses. None of them. King size, the queen size, the box springs, a couch and a love seat. And the kicker of them all, the stove that started the fire.
They didn't even have that on.
It was not on the list of things that were burned up.
Oh, man. Oh, man. That right there is a life lesson, folks. If you go through a disaster like that and listen to what he says, you do the inventory.
What company it is. You got to, it's your possessions. And if you don't go after every piece of it, they'll give you 6 pages of stuff, and that's what Allstate or whoever will pay you for.
Yeah.
And you're the rest of it. And, you know, they got, you know, I had 10 pages of stuff, and they was probably at least 3 pages of stuff on the yellow cabinet. So that's 13 pages that I would have not got a dime for, and some of it was really nice stuff. You know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, and who's going to know better than you what's in there?
You got to watch them on a situation like that, folks. I mean, that's just, like I say, I just want to give some advice to people on that. You know, on the storm, everybody weather it together. Be smart.
Yep.
You know, if I leave the house and go somewhere, I go to open the door somewhere. I let my arm slide down in my jacket, use the jacket to open the door.
I've done that several times.
Be real smart, but it seems like a pretty good move to me, you know, instead of putting on a glove. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's better.
Face or anything, you know, all the smart things you're supposed to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, gotta do what you can.
Absolutely. Well,
hey,
dude,
I just wanted to check in. Last time you seen me, I was in my shop.
Yes.
And I was telling you all about guitars and all the stuff I was doing in my shop. And, well, 10 guitar bodies got burned up that I had cut on the CNC machine. I lost the CNC machine. I lost all my bits. And this one is the only one that made it out.
Oh, man. That's a beaut.
And it was in the house. That's ambrosia maple and black walnut.
Mm-hmm.
Telecaster style neck.
Yep.
But and then the back of it's all black walnut.
Nice.
Drop of wood through it.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the only one that I ever cut out and it got out real good. And the rest of them were stacked up in the garage to do whatever with. I hadn't really worked on them. And this one was laying in the house because I had got this neck I was gonna put in it.
Mm-hmm.
make it fit. So,
Well, dude,
up,
I'm
that
so
one made it out of the fire.
well. There's yet another silver lining, and dude, I can't I can't tell you how badly I feel about that fire. But
Let's say it's what it is, brother.
yeah,
Hey, you can go to my YouTube channel, Spikes Prospecting Equipment.
yeah. When you get done,
If you go down through the videos, there's a video that's got a picture of me and buckwheat on the other side, and it says the hottest thing to ever come out of my shop. Yeah, that was me. Because that's what I look like when I come out. I had my hair had grown out, was all up there, and I'd been in there trying to put the fire out. My whole face was all black, and the EMT guy grabbed me by the arm. The EMT lady grabbed me by the arm and drugged me to the ambulance and said, "You going with me?"
Yeah.
So don't go try to fight a fire in flip flops with a little bitty fire extinguisher because you're wasting your time.
Yep.
But I can tell you what caused the fire was CNC dust had migrated over into the control panel of the oven that was sitting beside it that I used for powder coating.
Yeah. Yeah.
The CNC dust is so fine and explosive that it got over into that oven. That's what caused the fire.
Oh man. Well, I am serious. I'm glad that you're all right, and I'm glad it's getting taken care of, dude. I really am.
Accidents happen, and
Yeah.
it all works out. The house is real nice.
It'd be real nice when it's done.
I ain't never got so much work done for $1,000. I mean, just be honest.
I love it, man. You're always looking at the silver lining. That's wonderful.
Hey, you gotta look at everything that way. I've been living in this RV for 6 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Got another 4 weeks, and it's me, the wife, the shepherd-doodle, a labradoodle, and 2 Pomeranians.
Oh, holy cow, man! That's a family right there.
But at least we're in our yard, and we can put them in the fence where they can run during the day when it's not raining.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for having me on, brother.
Dude, thanks for coming on. Keep that chin up, and you'll have to come back on and let us know how things turn out. And by the way, when we get done here, make sure that you type into the chat so they can hit your YouTube channel and then your website if they find some things they need to get.
I'll throw up the video of the fire. That ought to be a good one.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, that'll be a good way to get to my channel. Then they can all subscribe and put their thumb up and do all that stuff, because that's what we like for them to do.
Exactly.
I've only got about 250 on mine, so I'll take anybody that wants to come.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not being picky right now. Okay?
Take it all comers.
I don't think I've ever thrown anybody off. If I'm really honest about it.
I hear that, bud. Well, listen, like I said, take care of yourself and come back on, will you? Let us know how things go.
Hey, we'll do the best we can.
All right, take care of yourself.
Be careful.
You too.
Guys.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, man.
Now that's what I'm talking about. That's an attitude that we should all embrace, especially during this storm. And I'm, got the quotes up, but I'm dead serious about that. It's a storm, but we got to weather it. We got to keep our spirits about us and not let it get the best of us. So, Tony, viewed this. How you doing? Good to see you, man. We've also got Pixel Pia teaching and learning. How are you, Pia? Always a pleasure to have you around as well. Hopefully I haven't missed anyone else. But yeah, you think you've got it bad. Imagine just before this whole thing, your house goes up. Whew, man, I can't even imagine. I tell you what, Chrissy, I'm gonna bring you on, but I, but that's all for tonight. After Stacy and Chrissy, why is my buttons not working? Oh, I know why. There we go. Whoops. Nope. Bear with me, folks. Like I said, I got interesting. Okay. So let me try that one more time. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's do this. I don't have anything to say in betweenks to that. Let's yeah, so the RV is basically a romantic getaway. I told the wife, I said, worst case scenario, we could jump in our RV. And she was all about that. She can't wait to go camping this year. And I'm the same way. I literally, remember I was talking about that auction and how they've got a 300-watt solar panel. It's probably gone now. It was only up to like $70, and I probably could have got it for about 100, but it's $300 kit. It's got a charge controller and everything. I was that close. I'm still that close to throwing solar up on that damn thing. So boondocking is not a problem. So, all right. Having said that, let's let us call up my next guest here and find his name real fast. All right, Stacy, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you, my friend?
All right. You're playing in the background, right? Do you hear that or?
No, I don't actually hear. No, I don't hear an echo.
No.
No, I think we're good, man.
Oh, cool. All right then.
So how are you, my friend? It's been a while.
I'm good. And yourself? It has been a while. Where have you been?
Well, long story short, broke my heel in January 4th. Had it surgery on January 24th, and I've literally been in self-isolation most of that time. Nothing I could do about it. I was literally locked, to chairs and beds, and I had to disconnect for a while, man. Had to disconnect. But I couldn't stay going for long.
No, I knew your foot was bugging you and you're out for that, but I was just being smart ass.
No problem, man. I deserve it.
Yeah, Mr. Shows. Yeah, cabin fever. I don't know. I think it's just starting to kick in a little bit for me. I self-isolated like a week ago, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
My nephew was over. She was sick. And then it looks like my mom's sick again, or it looks like she has the sniffles or the cough. So I guess it starts now for me again. So I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
Actually, just kind of sort of lost my job today. Like I'm not allowed to collect rent monies, and I'm not allowed to put any units and do repairs.
Really?
So I got a little bit of commission to rely on, but other than that, I'll be seeing a lot of this warehouse.
Well, I hope those commissions are enough for you to get by, dude. I really do. And that's only a temporary thing, right?
I'm sorry?
Is that a temporary thing for sure?
What, the background?
No. The job you can't do.
Oh, no, I've been here for almost 3 years, so it's just until I can start taking money and seeing people.
Okay, good.
Yeah. The homeowner called me and said, "Okay, we're good. You can stop collecting money and doing repairs." All right, sounds good.
Yeah, like you said, it's self-isolation. Well, I hope, like I said, and I've said this several times tonight, I hope it doesn't last too long, especially for those folks like you who would like this to go away, and then you'll be able to return to your normal activities for sure.
Well, yeah, I'm like one of the lucky ones. I still have like commission that I can rely on, that kind of thing. So
that's good. So,
all right.
What have you been up to since last time we talked, man?
I have been just like you, kind of. I've been searching for people hopefully to get interested in me. Not necessarily the bigger names, but yeah, the bigger names, I guess. I've been making and handing out a lot of buttons and making these YouTube belts and handing them out. And as you see, I'm making new like YouTube awards.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm slowing down a little bit on the shipping. It was a great idea making the belts, but it was a stupid idea making 12.
It can't get expensive, yeah.
Not only that, the shipping, is whatever.
Yeah.
It was from $50 to $100.
Ouch.
But the States, I'm lucky with the States. For like $20 kind of thing from Canada.
Oh man,
yeah,
that's brutal.
Still making them. I'm just going to like one every couple of weeks, one every month kind of thing, unless something happens and get another one out kind of thing. Yeah. But you said cabin fever on the thing, so I just wanted to come on and say I think I'm starting to kick in for me now. I'm getting nervous now.
Well,
Can't get by myself.
you know what they say, man. The only cure for cabin fever is to get out of it. And you heard Claire said, she's been seeing all kinds of people out. They're not, literally doing their work or going to stores or anything. They're just kind of out doing stuff. And I didn't get to say that it was a really nice day here in Indy, and there were tons of people out riding bikes, walking dogs. Of course, they're trying to keep their distance, but man, there was just a crap ton of people out doing stuff, and that's probably the best. That, and of course, keeping yourself busy is a great way to stave off cabin fever. So.
Yeah, well, there is, again, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going depth because I was just talking to the homeowner the other day. I have to build storage units in this warehouse here. I told you before, it was 10,000 square foot. So I have a whole bunch of car storages and self-storage to build. So now I think about it, I just might be okay.
Yeah, it's a great time to take those projects, on.
Yeah, well, I forgot about that. Just reminded me.
See, we've done some good here tonight, Stacy.
Yeah.
Keep you from suffering from cabin fever, at least.
Yeah, it's nice to talk to somebody other than myself.
I hear you, bud. I hear you. Which is
you guys on the wall.
Well, yeah, the wife and I we're not sick of each other yet, but it is nice to get on here and talk to new people.
Yeah.
Well,
this is actually, tell you the truth, this is the first time I've been live in 3 months. I've been on live. You broke me open again.
There you go. See, we've done something else. Well, listen, I'm gonna have to hurry through some folks because I've got 2 more, and my foot's starting to feel the effects here. But Stacy, thanks for coming on, man. It's good to see you again. I'm glad you're working to stave off the cabin fever and get those shelves done, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, and don't you be going nowhere. You stay local.
I'm not going anywhere.
All right, man.
All right,
I'll come down in the chat, and we'll talk soon.
All right, take care, buddy.
I'll send you your eyeball.
Oh yeah. Well, now, did you email me? I forgot.
I tried. Just DM me, and then I'll figure out how to.
It's right there, dude. It's just a Gmail address. It's at the bottom of every one of my shows. Do you see it? Yep. Videocallin at Gmail. Yeah, send me an email, dude. We'll hook up on that.
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Take care.
All right, man. Thanks again.
You bet.
Bye.
Bye. See, that's yet another example of positive attitude. You got to think ways to get around getting cabin fever. Now, see, I'm more mobile now, so I could actually get outside and and use my one arm for shit. But well, I tell you what, when I was laid up, there was, you get out on crutches, it sucks. You can't do anything. Stairs are a bitch. But now I can. So, all right, let me quickly get to my next guest, because I said just one more, but we've got another one. Angel, I'm not going to be able to get to you tonight, buddy. But fear not, folks. Fear not. I may very well. And Chris, I'm calling you up now. And God, I haven't forgotten about you. Tell us about your foot. That's what I want to. That's what I want to hear in the chat. Oh man, my eyes watering. Let's be. Not that I'm upset or anything. We're still waiting for you, Chrissy. If you stepped away, I'm gonna have to call up Nag. Yeah, I don't know. Lights. It's the lights, folks. Although I gotta tell you this. You want to talk about something that put a lump in my throat was today I was watching the one of the U.S. Army bands do a tribute to Neil Peart. And as you know, as a drummer, I am I was a big fan of Neil. Neil, rest in peace. One of my other regrets in this life is that I will never, ever be able to interview Neil. It would be so nice if Getty and or Alex came on, one of my favorite bands of all time, but I don't know that I'm ever going to see that happen. But Neil's out of reach now that he's gone.
That sucks. Large.
It does suck. No camera tonight, huh?
No, I've
No.
been crying too much. I'm sorry. I lost a friend
No.
today.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Chrissy.
Oh, thank you. But it wasn't from the virus. It was just a sudden thing. But anyway, yeah, I've had to make several phone calls about it. So it kind of like wore me out. And really, you would not want to see me right now anyway.
Well,
It is what it is.
well, none of us are in great shape. I'm actually in need of a shower myself, and this
I need a
was
haircut.
I do too. But it's good to talk to you. I'm sorry about your loss. I really am. Don't want to belabor that because it makes people sad. But know that my heart's with you.
Thanks. So you guys are in lockdown, right?
Yeah, and when I say lockdown, they've just said that we're not. There's no curfew yet, which I know there are some curfews around the world. Indiana has
Yeah.
not instituted a curfew. It's literally just a non-essential travel is prohibited. What that means, who knows? I don't know if they're going to be writing tickets or how they're going to prove it, but they're just
Yeah.
suggesting, you know.
It's really confusing, because you see so much crap on social media, and people aren't even aware of what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, martial law, people are talking about, and the young people, and I'm not being an idiot here and I'm not being rude, but most young people I talk to really don't understand what it's about. And when you try and explain it to them, they're like got their head in the clouds and they just don't get it. And when you talk about our liberties being taken away and things like that, that's part of it. you know
Yeah, it's my biggest fear in this whole thing.
yeah.
My
So
my biggest fear in this entire shit show is that people will willingly give up their rights and their freedoms for what is perceived safety, and they are not going to receive safety, as we know.
yeah.
Is that too heavy?
Yeah, exactly. No, you know what? I think it needs to be said. It needs to be said because, like where I live, we're just in self isolation. And people are pretty good about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's driving some people nuts. They want to go see each other and stuff. And,
Oh yeah.
you shake your head. But on the other hand, good thing about social media is you do find out things, on YouTube, like about. It never would have occurred to me if I didn't have any rubber gloves. What I would use to use sandwich bags.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so like just little simple, helpful hints like that. I mean, who has in at their home safety masks? Not unless you're a drywaller or a painter, or you know what I mean, or maybe even a healthcare professional that likes to bring them home. Who knows?
Well, that's true. I can tell you that Spike Littlejohn probably has masks and gloves because I do, and I keep them in my house all the time. But you got to remember that those of us who grind metal, weld metal, woodwork at all, you work with glue. I think I talked about this Sunday. Any construction glue that you work with, like the 3PL and the large tubes, that stuff gets everywhere. So you have to have those surgical gloves to be able to just rip it off and throw it away. So I'm one of those people.
Well, too, like if you're sawing up some MDF board or something, that's not good. Nope. Or contaminated barn board, or like my husband did for years. But yeah. So anyway, everybody's hearing all this advice on Facebook and everywhere else, and some of it you got to weed through it because some of it's ridiculous. But helping each other is really awesome with this virus, and anything we can do to protect ourselves. And something I read that really hit home for me, I don't know if it's true or not, but it makes a lot of sense, is that worst case scenario, the virus can live on a surface for 3 weeks and it can live in the air or be in the air for 3 hours. So let that sink in next time, you want to go walking down the street or running, like Claire was saying, like the virus is in the air for 3 hours, and then people from Italy are coming on and they're saying, when you come back in the house, disinfect your shoes,
Mm.
as well as washing your hands. So hopefully just by saying these stupid things, maybe I've helped somebody or save a life or something, but
Sure, absolutely. I mean,
I don't know.
it's the funny part about that is that the information is coming in so quickly and changes so often. It's really tough to nail a lot of this stuff down. I mean, even
I
the
know, 'cause who knows for sure, right?
right, even the researchers aren't entirely sure yet. They're still struggling with, like you said, how it's transmitted, how long it lives, and all that. Because what you just said tonight, I've heard differently several times, weeks ago, but I've heard that same thing.
Yeah.
It's like I always say, it's better to err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
When last week, when we actually did go pick up things at the auction, I didn't go, but my son and my wife did. I said, here, take these gloves, wear them the entire time you're in there. And before you jump in that car, throw them in the trash.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how many people are touching that stuff as you're going through grabbing your stuff. Because this sort of auction is, you bid online, you buy it online, and then you go and they've got it sectioned off, right? And you buy it by tag. You find the tag that that actually is. And who knows how many people moved that out of the way to get their stuff. So wear those gloves and then disinfect when you're done. And they did. And that's, it's just being smart. Just being smart and using your head in this whole thing. So cabin,
for sure.
So before I move on to my next guest, Chrissy, cabin fever, how are you dealing with it? Are you even experiencing?
Not really. I'm the world's greatest self-amuser, so.
That's a great thing to have in your back pocket right there.
Yeah, but along with the everyday things like, how in the heck are all these dishes piling up now?
Yeah. This never happened before.
Yeah, not like this, but
oh, first world problems.
Along with the usual crap of housework, I try and do something every day. Okay, like, how I know where I'm going to put that, or I'm going to hang a picture or something that never got done.
Yeah.
Johnny glued 4 chairs together. I was so proud of him.
Awesome. It's like,
yeah, like just,
I've always wanted to write that book.
Yeah. See, I'm not a reader, eh? Like I'll look online and stuff, but I'm not a reader unless it's left in the bathroom. I'm in there for any length of time. You know what I mean?
I thought that was only a dude thing. Car magazines right underneath the bathroom sink.
I grew up with like Field and Stream.
Oh, yeah.
And Ontario Out of Doors and whatever. My dad just had all the rags going, for fishing. So.
Oh, by the way, you guys are outdoors people. I don't know how much you shoot or anything, but if you ever go out for ammo online, stay away from Cheaper Than Dirt. They're big giant pieces of shit. They're asking double for ammo what it normally costs, and like ammo.com still has the regular prices. Cheaper Than Dirt has doubled their crap. So stay away. This is a public service announcement. For all of you guys watching right now and all you guys watching in the future, stay away from Cheaper Than Dirt. They're rip-off artists.
Well, I wouldn't do that anyways.
Good.
I'm set. I'm good.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I don't wait for a crisis to buy ammo. I've got plenty.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the dumbest time to buy guns and ammo is because the prices are generally higher. Supply and demand. I get that, but when you're gonna rape people for it, no, I have no use for you, and that's why I'm so hard on Cheaper Than Dirt.
I did post something on Facebook yesterday. I went to the variety store.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to get hand sanitizer. Here it was for $10.
Awesome.
You know what? I was actually glad to get it.
Yeah.
But everybody else is on Facebook going, "Oh, it's a rip-off. He's ripping people off." I said, "It's a convenience store. Aren't you used to paying more?"
Yeah.
Like,
but, yeah, as long as it wasn't like those guys on Amazon that were trying to sell it for like $70 for a $13 bottle of sanitizer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's how we operate.
Well, it's just gouging, and I don't know. It's taking advantage of a poor situation.
Well, that's a bullet train to hell, isn't it? I mean, when when you're going to rape your fellow person like that, I mean, you're on the bullet train, man. You're.
I know. Well, you want to hear one today. Johnny's a big fan of watching a particular YouTube channel. And he quit watching it today. I said, why? He was madder than mad. He said they bought a tractor trailer full of hand sanitizer and toilet paper. And if you buy one of their t-shirts, they'll send you a roll of toilet paper.
Oh, that's kind of bad and cheesy. Think of all the people who never got any, well, because they,
they just lost a fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
you don't have to name them if you don't want to. I understand totally, but that sucks. That sucks.
But on a positive note.
Yes, and this on a positive note. I got to get to my last guess because my foot's killing me.
This is where I'm ending this. Okay, so I actually made a sign and put it up in my neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
And it's on my Facebook page if you want to look at it. But it says, thank you for self-isolation. And on the other side, it says, we can beat this. And both sides have hearts on them.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah, so
that's
people
awesome.
see it when they go out shopping, right?
Yep, exactly. And you're right. We'll get through this. Yep. Hopefully stronger than when we came into it. So
I encourage everybody to make a sign in their neighborhood if you're allowed to go out. If you are, put a little sign. Kids are making chalk on the sidewalks and stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and just something positive.
I just thought of the neighborhood sign. Have you ever seen that meme, free cat? No? Oh, it's hilarious. And of course it's somewhat dark as well. There's a dead cat on the side of the road and somebody tacked up a sign that said free cat and it points right to the cat. Cracks me up every time I say I'm a bad individual. Maybe I'm on the bullet train to hell, but it cracks me up every friggin' time I see it.
That would kind of explain why they're circulating memes about how to clean a squirrel.
Oh yes, yes. Oh, and if you guys don't know how to clean a squirrel, bare minimum, then you're not gonna be able to survive on your own. It's learn to do it. That's all I gotta say.
It's like the Hunger Games.
Exactly. Because I was just telling the wife, because meat's kind of hard to find. Although we did get some great hamburger from our butcher today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but because we got a really great butcher right down the street. But most of the supermarkets, there's been a run on it, and the supply chain hasn't caught up yet. But I told her, I said, as soon as my foot's okay, I'll just head on down south. I don't care what the seasons are. I'll get us some meat. and she doesn't like wild game. So, and I'm stretching this out for no real good reason, but she doesn't like wild game. But she said, I'd eat it.
You know what we had tonight? You're gonna laugh.
What?
Tonight we had moose tenderloin. Okay?
Oh, why would I laugh about that?
Yeah, it was really awesome.
I'm still waiting for you to turn me on to some moose.
Oh my God, is it good? It's so good.
That's one of the few animals I have not had, and not aside from all the exotic ones. But buffalo, elk, of course, all kinds of deer and that sort of thing. But I've never had moose, and I'm dying to try some moose.
Well, if you ever come up to see me, I'll have to feed you. I mean, I made Aqua Chigger. I made him moose meat spaghetti sauce. So there you go.
Oh yes. Well,
he loved it.
When the wife and I retire, and we're traveling the North and South America with the camper, we'll head your way, Chrissy.
Alrighty. Sounds like a plan.
But for now, stay safe. Like I know you will, and be good, of course.
You too, guys. Love yous all. Stay safe and practice the social distancing for sure.
Yep, at least till the storm's passed.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, take care.
Okay, guys. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. And that's a lesson. That's a lesson. Find something to do. Take care of yourself. Practice social distancing until we can get a handle on this thing, and I think we're going to be okay. All right. Last but not least, because I'm struggling here. Oh, geez, the hell was that? No way. I'm loving that. I am absolutely loving that. Let me see if I can find my own Oh, man, where is it? It's got to be up top. Well, now I've got to put in two names. Oh, no, I'm just going to use that one. Can you hear me yet? Your microphone's above your head, hon. There we go.
Oh God.
There, now I can hear you.
Cool. I've been waiting for 12 hours. I understand Nag's pain now. It's ridiculous.
12 hours.
This wait time is crazy.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I literally am so sorry. But you know, of course, that I wasn't even going to go down this road because I am less than 100%. But
I know, my foot feels fine though.
I hope so. What was that all about?
Just giving you a hard time.
I thought, oh no, did she hurt her foot over there in Great Britain? That can't be good.
No, I didn't do that. I'm fine. I got this weird skin condition though. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like you've acquired a birthmark.
I think it's all the biscuits and tea. The territory.
Biscuits, tea, crumpet, baked beans with breakfast.
Oh, that's a real thing.
I know it is.
So many beans.
I know. When we were lucky enough to be over, we spent the night in London, and that was the first thing we noticed. Beans with breakfast. I think it was actually one time we went to
Beans
McDonald's.
everywhere.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Well, I guess there are worse things. And I'm glad your foot's not hurt. But I'm sad you can't get back. I don't know what that's all about. Tell us your situation, Ghana. I was supposed to say your name 3 times. Am I saying it funny, Ghana?
You gotta say it in the mirror, and then a banana appears.
I said it twice. I can't say it one more time, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like Beetlejuice, you know.
Yeah. Nag, how you doing, man? I was just going to.
I'm in the same house with that thing.
I don't know. Are there worse things?
I'm not gonna answer that.
I'm sorry I asked.
Beans and sausage every day. It smells weird.
Oh, man. Oh, I hope you brought my cornhole board. My sausage.
You know what? I think that's going to be a top seller when I get home.
I hope so. See, when people start getting out and having fun together again, that's going to be all the rage.
Yes.
Sausage holes. Whatever will we do with ourselves?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, so tell us about because I haven't talked to both of you directly since. I want to hear how your trip was and how it's been going since you've been there.
Oh, my trip's been great so far.
Yeah.
Besides the lockdown when everything was closed, we weren't really able to do anything this week, but last week we did a lot.
Uh-huh.
Checked out a bunch of cool buildings, cathedrals, and castles.
Bring your mic down again, hon, will you?
Wow.
You're a little low.
This one?
Oh,
This
that.
one.
Oh, that's
Which
not the
mic
one where.
is it?
Yeah, we're not listening to your headphone mic. We're listening to the one on the table.
Listen to that one over here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold
Yeah.
on.
Is it a snowball?
It's a giant snowball.
Yep. That sounds better.
Okay.
as your grip comes in.
And check. Okay, is that better?
Oh, that's so much better. Thank you.
Okay.
So you
Got
get
this.
there, you guys meet up, everything goes great. And how long have you overstayed your visa, for
2
lack of a better
weeks.
term? 2 weeks? You've been there 2 weeks longer than you were supposed to?
Longer than I expected, yeah.
Oh, wow. What's the prognosis? When do they say that you might be able to fly back to the old States?
I'm hoping I'll be able to go back on Monday, but that's kind of up in the air still.
Uh-huh.
So we'll see. Hopefully Monday.
Okay.
If not, I'm just gonna, continue to morph into a different creature.
I love this. This is a great look for you. You might
Right?
want to, you might want to port that to your channel.
I need to invest in some skincare products.
It seems like one of those birthmarks that you could fill with water and sleep with, and then take care of bags. Is that what am I getting that right, or is it just a regular birthmark?
It's not a birthmark. It's like an allergy to food, biscuit.
Okay.
It's like a biscuit allergy.
Oh, I see. Biscuit allergy. So you can't fill that. You can't fill that biscuit allergy with water, then, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
It's always there. But only when you're in a different country.
Oh, so
it's complicated.
You won't even be able to bring that back to your channel.
Nope.
Oh, we are slightly disappointed.
I'm not too. Am I too loud when it's down?
Well, you were there for a minute for some weird reason, but you're good right now. You're good right now. Yeah. Awesome.
I don't have a very projectile voice like Nag, so.
Oh, you're doing great now. This sounds perfect.
Perfect.
So now that you've been there, or you're in lockdown like the rest of us, self-isolation, I'll say. Yep. Has cabin fever set in? Do you think it's going to set in? Do you have any plans to avoid it? Tell us all.
I self-isolate anyway. You know, I'm normally inside. I don't leave my house as it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so far away from home now. I don't know.
You should be dancing naked in the streets.
Yeah, I go outside and it's completely different. Like, I can actually go outside here, unlike where I live normally.
Really? Why is that? Because of the heat?
It's not 120 degrees outside and there's trees.
Yeah, granted.
So I can hide.
Oh, it's good to see you guys. It really is good to see you guys.
We're making it. I'm hopefully going to be home soon.
Fantastic. How
as long as I'm not sick.
Yeah, how is Nag doing with his because he's been trying to work on his passport issues for a while. Is there any changes there?
He's still working on it. Hopefully he'll come over. I keep telling him to come over in the winter time, not in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be there in the summer.
Yeah,
I don't want to be there.
When it's like 80, right?
Yeah. Nice cool 80-degree breeze.
Yeah, you don't even have to break out the closed-toed shoes.
When I came here, I don't have tennis shoes. I wear flip-flops every day, and I wear them for work too because I teach yoga. So I had to bring actual shoes.
Oh man. First world problems.
Socks. Yeah, socks and shoes. This is something I don't have.
Oh, well, I'm going to think about you in the next auction because they do sell socks occasionally. Brand new ones.
I need new socks.
It's like overstock stuff. Yeah. Well, thankfully you didn't have to take your couch. It's still waiting for you, you know.
Oh, my couch. Yes. I missed my couch so much.
You want to see a picture of it? You haven't seen a picture of it forever.
Yes.
All right, we're going to show you a picture of it. There you go. There you go.
It's my couch.
It's a fix. It's a fix. There you go.
It's worth every penny. I've dreamed of this couch. I drew the couch and I put it on Twitter. I miss it.
Man,
couch.
Well, your couch is safe. I can't believe you just did that for a couch.
I love that couch, Jim.
Don't worry. The couch is fine. The couch misses you as well.
Okay.
So we're okay.
Give it a hug and kiss for me, okay?
No.
Please, Jim.
I know where it's been. I can't.
I know it smells funny, but look past that, please.
I'll try. I'll pat it. How's that?
Thank you. Okay.
Maybe pet it, but I'll have to miss the gum.
Make sure you wash your hands afterwards.
Oh, I know, because
only you know where that couch has been.
It might even be ground zero. I don't know.
Started all this.
Yeah, I'm not saying there are bats in there. I'm not saying that directly, but there could be.
Freaking couch.
Oh well, it's great to hear. It's great to hear your situation, hon. In that you guys are doing okay, and there's light on your travel back, and he's working on those. If you don't mind, I need to shut this down. My leg is really, or my ankle is really killing me.
I understand.
Yeah. Okay. And I hope yours is good too.
It's, you know what? It's fine. So far, so good.
Well, again, thanks for coming on. And I know you guys wanted to come on tonight as a pair, and I'm a little shocked that he's not in the frame, but I know he's with us in spirit, right?
He's
Just right over there.
present around me, just not next to me.
Well, I'm a little worried about heading over there again later on in life, because I don't know that I want one of those birthmarks.
The longer you stay, it changes colors with the seasons. It's pretty cool.
Well, he's already wearing the critical, or he's got the critical one, right? That it's red. Right. Yeah.
I'm just in phase 1.
Chronic.
It's worse from here.
You're in just the beginning stages.
Just the beginning stages.
Oh, well, take some medicine for that, and
I will
see a doctor and get rid of it.
As soon as I get home.
And do us a favor and give Nag our love. That was easy for me to say.
I'll give Nag some love for you.
Let's not even start that. I caught some of what you guys were talking about on another channel, and was like, nope.
That's not me. I don't start that. Nope, I'm not going to get into it. All right.
Let's just be bright and cheery here, and happy face. Well, I hope.
Wash your hands, people.
I hope all my English friends weather this as well as we're going to, and I wish the best for you guys. And it's so good to see you again. I appreciate you coming on.
You too, Jim. It's good to have you back.
Thanks. It won't be. I won't be a stranger, and I hope you won't be either.
I'll try not to be.
All right. Much love, dear.
Bye-bye.
Take care. That is I was so excited to talk to those guys, because that was a major undertaking. I'm sure Ghana will tell us. That was 3 times for Ghana. Shit, I might be in trouble. But those are 2 good people. I always have fun with them, and love seeing them. Like I said, though, I appreciate you guys showing up for this relatively unique show, almost 2 hours worth. But this is how it's going to be for a while. Sunday nights, 8 p.m. is rock solid, and I'm going to pop on here and there. I'm thinking about having, since we can't have raves, I was thinking about having a pandemic party. So watch for that sometime in the future. But for now, I'm going to call it a night. Thanks to all you folks that showed up to chat and talk about and watch the show. Thanks to all my guests. You guys are, the best, just the best people in the world. For those YouTubers that I reached out to that might be watching this later, don't be shy. Come on up. Love to talk to you. There's one of these days I'm going to have a show of my favorite YouTubers, and I want to talk about your favorite YouTubers and why. And I think that'll really give a good background on why I actually want to talk to you guys and some other people. But for now, I'm going to call it a night. The dog's barking, and I got to get it elevated. But make sure that you treat others, especially during this time, as you would want to be treated, you hoarders. If we all did that, this world would be a better place. Again, catch us live